Good day all, Unasvita here. Welcome to the fourth installment of my attempt to answer the Atheist Challenge. I will begin with question number 8.
Number 8, if there is no God, no salvation, no responsibility, and no commitment to one another, then why do you feel the need to spread the news of atheism to a deceived or Christian world? What do you hope will come of it? And why will that even matter?
Okay, first you equate God's salvation, responsibility, and commitment to one another. These are not all connected. First of all, without God there would be no need for salvation. We do not inherently, if there is no God, no original sin, no things of that nature, have any need to be saved. We don't start off dirty or diseased. We don't start off flawed and failed as a species. We simply start off as an individual, and therefore our actions throughout our lives determine who and what we are, without regard to the need for salvation. Next, responsibility and commitment to each other. I will say, and I will say this, though I'm sure that it will probably not be taken well, that atheists are infinitely more responsible, because while the theist is accountable to God and to God alone, the atheist is responsible to every person on the planet that they ever encounter throughout their entire lives. If you wrong someone, you can go to God and he can vicariously forgive you for the wrong that you've done. Whereas an atheist can only seek forgiveness from the individual that they have wronged. And it's not automatic. God has agreed to forgive you for everything, according to your dogma. We have to seek forgiveness from those that we've wronged, and that person is under absolutely no obligation to forgive us. So it really, really makes one be careful of one's actions in life. So we do have a sense of responsibility, and we have a massive sense of responsibility to everyone, or at least I do, and I'm sure from what I've listened to most other atheists on YouTube that they have similar views of things. And finally, commitment to one another. That is what society is. Every culture, every ethnic group, every people on the face of this planet has formed some form of society, and that is basically a commitment to one another to try to make it through this world. And so that exists with or without religion, with or without a God, with or without any particular dogma being correct. So I don't think that it is right to say that without God's salvation, responsibility, and commitment to one another, like if you take God out of the equation, that none of the others can exist. And again, I don't think that salvation is something that does exist. I don't think it's necessary for it to exist. But you ask why we feel the need to spread the message. Well, first of all, we've been quiet for quite some time. I mean, basically for, quite a few hundred years, anyone who was an atheist, admittedly, could be burned at the stake. So it took a long time for us to be able to speak our minds without fear of overwhelming retribution. But mainly right now, you ask 7 out of 10 atheists, or probably 9 out of 10 agnostics, if they really care what other people believe, then they'll say no. The only thing that makes us feel the need to be so vocal now is that religion is starting to work its way into public life on a much grander scale. And that is what worries us. And right now what we are doing is we are making our presence in society known. We're saying that we are not the cringing minority that once we were thought, that we are actually very numerous, and that so far our existence has not toppled society. In fact, those among our numbers have in fact been responsible for most of, or at least a great number, I won't say most, but a great number of the benefits that we have in society now, and that we will not be marginalized. We will not agree to be marginalized as a group. And so that's why, because we do not want our lives dictated by people who have no real right to dictate the way we live.
Number 9. So no one can study everything, right? No one can study everything, past, present, future. No one has infinite knowledge. Does it take faith? Does it take faith to be an atheist? Faith means simply believing in something you can't prove beyond a shadow of a doubt. So just answer me this: does it take faith to be an atheist?
It seems to me that faith is a justification for belief. Reason is also a justification for belief. Faith means that beliefs will not change even if the evidence of reality contradicts it, or, in the case of Holy Scripture, even if it contradicts itself. Reason means that belief in any concept is subject to the evidence of reality and is amendable as new evidence becomes available, even if it discredits that previous belief. So, no, it does not take faith to be an atheist. Being an atheist is not having infinite knowledge. It is simply finding insufficient evidence to believe in a God.
Number 10. In conjecture with that question, that number 9 question, knowing the way the world is today, the order and the sequence of the world, the universe, does it take more faith to believe in a designer than it takes to believe in random acts that brought all this about?
My first bit, this is not meant to be insulting. I'm a stickler for the English language. Not conjecture, conjunction. Sorry. And no. Again, we go back to random acts. If they were in fact random acts, then it would be the result of a capricious being who had intent but didn't use it. No, it does not take more faith to believe that the universe has developed over, millions and billions of years than it does to believe that an individual poofed them into being. So no, it does not. It takes much less faith. In fact, I don't think it necessarily takes any faith. So